So this is the Weal Way, and this is the Weal. I think it means wall and rather than Welsh, because it is wall-like. It's not a ditch. There is a ditch on the other side. It actually seems to be the same level on the other side, so it could be one of those. It could be one of those ditches that with a bank on either side to show equality on both sides of the boundary. You do get them. There's people. Can't remember who it was. There's an archaeologist describing how two workmen would dig along the ditch and build up on the bank on either side, working side by side, and it just so that both sides agree where the boundary is and there's agreement between two communities. I don't think it's a park pale. The reason why I don't think it is because it's marked on an Anglo-Saxon charter, so it might have been turned into a park pale later on. There may be a park here and there may be a pale, but I think its original reason was a demarcation between two old estates, either Saxon or pre-Saxon. I think Wal, as in wall, is more likely. Sorry, romantic antiquarians. It's that's what I think. Anyway, so that's the first objective, I think, of this walk, is to try and, in my mind, have some sort of idea about this landmark. And it is attractive. I like it a lot. I don't like every lump and bump I see in the landscape, but it's right on the ridge going down that side. And incidentally, this ridge, of course, it's not the castle on the other side that's Wardour, it's the ridge itself. The aura part means bank, basically, a bank of earth. And this is a great big one. It's quite thin, a ridge that I presume the people on the other side felt warded, guarded them. The landscape's changed again in the sense that it's no longer oak and ash like most of Wiltshire, like a lot of Wiltshire that I've seen recently. We're now getting into pine trees, we're getting into beeches. I'm no farmer, but I'm wondering whether or not beeches can tolerate high winds on downs, because you do seem to see them quite a lot up here. Places like this, seeing sycamores, silver birches. So there's one or two oaks, but it's quite a lot of hazel or cob, depending upon what you call it in your region, or filbert, that's another name. We're starting to see the fruits of autumn coming, the fruits of harvest. That's another thing that got on my nerves, is translating some old English the other day, and they were saying August is, the Anglo-Saxons called it the beginning of harvest, the beginning of August, and they translated that as autumn, and that's just ridiculous. It is high summer, always has been, but harvest doesn't necessarily mean autumn, though we do have harvests that go through autumn, like nuts and so on. So this is Wardour Castle at Wardour. So it is not the Ward bank. The bank behind it, the huge hill behind it, is the warding bank, the guarding bank. And it's a terrible place to put a castle. If you are waiting for open warfare and you intend on defending your territory. So it must have symbolic meaning. It must be a situation, much like the Wansdyke, where they are unable to set their own boundaries. They're unable to take that ridge up there. That belongs to somebody else. That's my feeling. So they are going to assert their authority over this land here by placing it up against an area they can't control. Now, even in the medieval period, if I was your opponent, I would put a load of trebuchets at the top of and log catapults basically and lob rocks. I would demolish that place. Not only would I get a good vantage point for smashing you to pieces, I would be able to see who is inside the compound around your castle. I would be able to have intelligence on your positions because I'm on the higher ground. So this is why it's terrible. So it must have been put here for another reason, and it had to have been an expression of some sort, and I think it's an expression to say, yes, I can't press any further east, but I intend to make a statement that I'm here. But even if it is not as political as that, maybe it was just a situation of absolute peace around here, in which case why build such a massive fortification? But anyway, that's my thoughts on the Wardour. Oh, another thing, the parish boundary runs smack through the middle of the building. So again, we've got another situation where either there's something symbolically important on the edge of the boundary, or the estate has been divided into two, and I think it's the edge. I think this is a guard post that eventually becomes the Earl's manor house, the Earl's castle. This is how I know I don't live in a fascist country. There's a sense that there's a public footpath that goes right the way through the front of a landed gentry's house, and there's nothing they can do about it. There's also a public footpath that goes straight through the middle of Blenheim Palace. That's a proper palace. Blenheim Palace's estate. So you don't have to pay a fortune to have a look at a stately home.